You are now listening to Timebite, hosted by me, Stephen Clark. Hope you enjoy the podcast. Hey there, everybody. It's your boy, Steve. Once again, for Timebite episode 140, which is crazy. 140 episodes, third year in, doing good. We're just making strides around here at Timebite, whatever. Incorporated, I would say, but I'm not. But anyway, I am joined today by someone who is a cosplayer, who goes to conventions, who is really awesome, and he literally will fight you for his rights. Like, I mean, come on, it's true. But
you're absolutely correct.
but he is really awesome, really chill. Today I am joined with Alex. What is up?
Huh?
What is up? What's going on?
Not much. It's been a pretty normal day here in, Corona times. Just a whole lot of staying at home and having not too much to work on. Well, too much to do. I've had plenty to work on, but I've been putting off. That con crunch not being there is been really restrictive to me doing my, thing.
No, it's fine. You think that people think that since there's no con crunch and no cons in general, that people would have all this free time in the world to make the cosplays the best ever. And then when cons come back, we'd be amazed by the time and efforts put into this time being away from conventions.
See, you're correct. I'm not saying everyone, but we do have all the time in the world technically right now to, up our cosplays and, do all the fine detailing we want to. But the con crunch, that gives us a deadline. So that's, that's the point in time where we're like, we'd get this done. We'd get it, looking great. Because, otherwise it's like, oh, I got time. It's a whole lot of procrastination. Well, at least it's me. I'm a major procrastinator.
Oh, dude, same. Let me tell you. I like when it comes to procrastinating, I don't procrastinate all the time, but there's moments I have my moments.
I got ADHD, so procrastination is basically embedded in me. Well, granted, I like to think so because most people I've seen / heard, with the same thing, ADHD, it is like, okay, we do nothing until it's like the day before, and then we just we just do it all in one go really quickly, and that same kind of effort could be done in 4 reasonable days.
So your profile picture, right? We were talking about that earlier. Where was it actually taken at?
That was taken at Amkey, actually. I want to say that was I think it was my first Amkey. No. It was my first or second Amkey. Yeah, that was one of the fun solo pictures I had because no one else cosplays me tramps. That was fun.
I like the denim vest look because I have a denim vest with all my pins and stuff, whatever, on it too.
Oh, denim! Oh God, I forgot. I changed my profile picture. That was my apologies there. That was just a character I just kind of created up for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to. I wanted to dress up for Halloween for my job. We were doing this thing with the drive-through with the kids and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I figured, let's see. I got a new wig. I got contacts, and I have all this gray stuff. Let's go put it on my face and be uncomfortable for a 9-hour period.
Yeah, so that was taken at your job?
Yeah, that would be in Arlington Heights at my job. I'm so used to having my profile picture. I think my profile picture on Instagram is still my Tabros one. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, you're
Oh,
not.
I'm wrong there too. It's Miyazaki. God, I shows how much I'm on social media sometimes. I'm my picture has been Tavros for quite a number of years, and I most recently changed it in October or November, obviously, because you know.
Because we know November.
Yep.
Let's talk about November. No one can.
Never forget to put November.
It's November because because it's going to be November to remember. Because if you forget, it's because it would be a regret that you won't forget.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, that is just something I came up with almost on the spot. Like I was like, oh, I'll get ready for work and stuff, and I was playing video games before that, and I got a little bit sidetracked by playing Dead by Daylight, and I had an hour to put that all together. That was a race, which is I was not too thrilled with. So I'm like, crap the entire time. Like I'm trying to put on makeup. I'm trying. That was the first time I ever did like full face paint with like eye makeup and stuff
Mm-hmm.
and contacts and all that. I had the earphones just laying around because I bought them in my first con at anime, not Milwaukee, anime. It was anime Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
I bought them forever ago. I'd never used them. I was like, oh, I can use these. I got gray. This will match. That was a really fun time.
No.
It turned out pretty great because I do well under pressure. At least it looks like I do.
Yeah, your cosplays are amazing and all, but take us back, like take us all the way back to, where it started. What's your story? Where did it start, and how did you get to where you are now?
Well, I guess technically it started back in my senior year of high school. I went to a convention with my friend, a childhood friend, lived right across the street from me. We went to ACEN, Anime Central, and I was like, I don't know what possessed me. I think he was dressing up as someone as Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians, and I was like, well, I want to dress up too. And all I had was like let's say I had a set of bunny ears, a bow tie, and like those like cufflinks.
Mm-hmm.
Those came from Party City, sexy bunny, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
But I also had like a really nice I have a friend who's a furry, and he sent me a bunny tail that was like high quality. It was like big. It was stuffed. It would like wrap around like a belt. It had a squeaker in the tip, so when you squeak, when you squeeze it, it would squeak. And that's something my first start into cosplay, I guess, because I didn't really do anything with that until my sophomore year of college, where I really got back into Homestuck. I was always been a Homestuck fan since the beginning, but once I met some people in college, and I was like, oh, these people cosplay, they're cool. I think I want to try and do that. I got help. My first cosplay was Tavros, and I believe I have got a picture of that on Instagram, but I digress. Anyway, that was like my first real cosplay time where I put full makeup on. I had horns. I had granted my friend made the shirt and it was hers, but that would be my first entryway into cosplay, I want to say. Because the people I kept close, they were all into like, oh, we like anime, we like cosplay. I was part of a cosplay club in my freshman year, and through my 4 years at college, but that would be the first time I think I really had the idea in mind, like, oh my god, I'm going to do this, instead of just being like, oh, I'm a fan, it's really cool, and I appreciate people who do that.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, when you went to that first convention, excuse me, when you went to that first convention with your friend across the street, were you still figuring out, like, was that during the period when you were still figuring out who you were, or were you already like established at what you were by that point, and you were just gonna do whatever you want because you already were established?
What quite do you mean by that? Like sexuality wise, or just like just I like to dress up as things.
Like like were you like you know I don't know what I should have asked this before. Like I don't know what you or what you consider yourself as like now, but how but the way that you are now, were you this way like since that time, or were you like, oh, I don't know, I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure, but I'll just dress up as this character to go to this convention though because I think it feels good, or was like,
Okay.
you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I think okay. Yeah. I want to say I wasn't my first convention with a childhood friend. I don't think I was quite there yet because I was just like, oh, I'm dressed up just to have fun. But my favorite holiday, like as a kid, was Halloween, followed closely by Christmas, but that was mostly because, family and stuff and food and gifts and all that jazz. But
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, I love to dress up as stuff. So I was like, this is an opportunity to dress like something. Let's do it. But that
Mm-hmm.
was more of like I felt like a necessity to. My friend was doing it. So I was like, well, I should do it too then.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I I got two quote unquote first cons. My first con typically was ACEN, Anime Central,
Mm-hmm.
because that was like the first convention I've been to, but it was only for one day. It was like, we were driven there, we were picked up after, and brought home.
Mm-hmm.
My first con experience was I went to Anime Minneapolis, and that was a full weekend gig.
Mm-hmm.
And it was beyond just a weekend gig. It was like I took a bus with two other friends. It was a 7 or 8 hour drive from Wisconsin to Minnesota. We had a coach bus, and we were crammed into a room full of like 7 to 10 people, which nowadays is not okay. At least, Corona times going on. But it was like one of the best experiences I ever had. I miss it. I want to go back to that. I miss it dearly.
Yeah.
Well, beyond just, missing cons in general, that was one of my favorite cons.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say it was one of my most favorite because it was just, like, I don't know, just being surrounded by so many fun people. And, like, even at what, like, I'm usually someone who likes space.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when you're crammed into a room with one king bed and, like, a couch, and it was, like, one of those, like, fancier, what's the word? Like, I don't know, suites, because it was like a little office. It was like one room and a bathroom, but it was like an L-shaped room, so it was a bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the room, for people, but it was still a lot of people crammed into one room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually someone who does not want people too around me. I don't know, it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
But that was one of my favorite things. Like, I never thought I'd enjoy sharing a bed with two other people.
Yeah, but, no, because the reason I asked about like if you were like how you consider yourself today back then is it's like for the people who are listening who are going through the same thing that you were going through all those years back, and if they were like thinking about it and just so they could just like hear like the story of how you went through what you went through. You know what I'm saying?
Like my first time doing cosplay. Well, again, the technical term, we're dressing up someone and going to a convention. That was just like thrown together at last minute. I'm like, oh, you're doing this? Well, maybe I could throw something together. I could find a Halloween costume or something. My first real-time cosplaying was that Animini, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was fully, like, I found out what a con crunch was, because literally me and my roommate and my other friend all went up to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like fully like I didn't sleep that night. I was fully working on everything. And even during the bus ride, I was still working because I had arm socks, quote unquote. Those are basically tights I made into gloves because
Mm-hmm.
I was, again, cosplaying Tavros.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to my arms gray because A, that's a waste of makeup, and B, that's going to rub off super quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire time I was hand sewing my tights, my arm socks, the entire way up there. Which, funnily enough, the entire 7-8 hour bumpy car ride or bus ride, Didn't prick myself once. Not a single, like, needle into the hand.
That's crazy.
Finally gets in a hotel room. I sit down, on not moving floor. The first stitch I do, I immediately prick myself.
Oh, God.
It was ironic. And I'm glad I didn't get any blood on it, but it always tickles me, the fact that I went so many hours, A, without sleep, and B, on a bumpy ride, across states. Excuse me. And that was no incident. I sit down in a hotel room. Yeah, I just
You should play the lottery before you went to your hotel room.
honestly I should have. That was lucky. I've always had a way of sewing. At least I've seen that. I majored in it actually. I majored in costume design, so sewing is something that I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I'm comfortable doing. Something I love doing. Especially like even detail sewing. Like I've made corsets and stuff, which is for the record, one of the worst things you could do is, oh my God, there's so many pieces. But even when you think like, oh, it's all sewn together. Oh no, you need to put the thing over the top and to make sure that the stray stuff gets out, and that's going to be difficult. And sorry, that's not part of the point. I
No,
like
that's fine.
sewing. It's fun, and my first con experience was like really like, I guess one of the best con experiences I could have had. I went with friends that I knew I was be friends with for forever. It was my first con cosplaying. I was con crunching. It was like the most authentic, I guess, stereotypical way you could think of like someone's first con being. Like you don't like, because you don't, when you first start, you're like, oh, I'll have time to do that, and then you're like, oh shit, I don't have any time.
So it was that con in Minneapolis where basically you found yourself as a person, pretty much. You feel?
Oh, well, I've already went through that journey once before, but that was sexuality based, and that's not the point. But
I know, but I was
in a sense, yes, that is also something, because honestly, I was a computer science major until I was a computer science major my sophomore year of college, and then
mm-hmm.
junior year I swapped to theater with emphasis in costume design.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was not doing that great in computer science. I probably could have done better, but my teacher was not. Well, he was the best. I loved my teacher.
Mm-hmm.
He was just used to teaching people that were higher level, and that's someone who's never coded before.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to flock him for that. Absolutely not. I just wasn't grasping the material so much. And I was like, this is not the major for me, and it was either drop out or I'm going to do something that I want to do. Because originally, like, I wanted to do something that was like math or science, something that would, make a lot of money. And I'm like, well, everything else that's left I'm just not a fan of. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I like the theater I've done. I like cosplay. I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's where I went down. I'm going to do what I want, and if I don't get even if I don't get a degree out of it, I'll get something out of it.
Yeah, because like I said, the only reason I was asking about that was because for the people who would be interested and want to hear about it, because I thought it'd be cool. Like, it'd be cool for someone to hear like your story on that. But anyway,
yeah, honestly, just to add up more onto that, like, if you feel like you want to go to a con and maybe cosplay, but you're scared of doing it, just do it. Even it doesn't have to be a huge cosplay. You don't have to be painting your skin, wearing a wig, making props and stuff. Like, it can be something very simple. Like, for example, my sister, she's never into a con, but she wants to cosplay Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
mm-hmm.
That's a relatively easy cosplay. You could get a wig and wear basic clothes, and maybe carry a stake around. And, boom, you're Buffy. But it's not, like, so far off to where you might feel uncomfortable. Just do something nice and simple if you do feel nervous about that. Or, if you have a friend that cosplays, or you've got a friend who's also interested in cosplay, do something like that. Like, lean on each other and just be each other's strength in that department to really go through with that. Because honestly, cosplay takes a lot of courage. Well, in some senses, yes, because I
Where you
don't know.
stand.
Yeah, cosplaying is not easy, but it's also not super difficult. I'm just contradicting myself right now.
Well, I mean,
There's a
like,
there's a lot of range to cosplay. It can be very difficult, but also be very easy. It's got a really good difficulty range,
yeah, I mean, like,
and
you can be as
it,
simple as you want with it, or you can be as flamboyant as you want with it. Like it's really up to what you're comfortable with and what you want to do. You know.
exactly that's what I was trying to say. Thank you.
No, no.
Like it's for some people who aren't very what's the word, comfortable with standing out, but you want a cosplay character that really stands out. I would say it's like, getting in a cold pool or cold lake, just jumping into it. Or you could try and ease yourself into it by trying to cosplay something a little bit easier, not something so people are gonna point out what I am and demand attention from me or something.
I think Homestuck is the best example for this because it's like probably probably the best or the greatest example for this because I mean, because we all know like a lot of the characters in there, a lot of people ship them because I guess supposedly whatever happens, it's canon in Andrew Hussey's
Oh,
eyes. So
absolutely. Because let's see, Hussey. Okay, I'm gonna go off on a tiny little rant here because it's necessary. Hussey loves to. I don't know if he still loves to because it seems he's not really part of Homestuck 2. I could be wrong. I don't read Homestuck 2. I wasn't a fan of how the epilogues were going, and I stopped reading. I just stopped it at where Homestuck ended. He loved to fuck with his audience, like to the point of just I'm gonna say stuff to just annoy someone or get a rise out of people. Like he did say canonly, since there's infinite universes, every ship's canon. And he's also got a person where people, when they'd pester him about, we want to see this, this, that, and the other. And he's like, okay, instead of that, I'm going to take however many number of pages it was, being updated weekly, to talk about troll love quadrants. Because we haven't talked about that enough.
Mm-hmm.
He's just that kind of person to just troll everyone. And I love that. I appreciate the hell out of that. I was making a point here. What was I saying?
No, I think you're basically saying that how everything was canon and how Hussey likes to just F at everyone and just make everything canon, and I mean,
yeah. Just to fuck with people, and Homestuck was a really great introduction to that because it was like the first. I don't say the first webcomic because it's not. It's definitely not.
Definitely
It was
not.
that first webcomic that a lot of kids/teens really clung on to because it was very. Granted, some of the language in the first couple acts are very not 2021. We'll just put it at that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very authentic for the time because that's how people would speak when they were 12, 13 years old. And when you got to the trolls and stuff, that was like, oh, something else we want to cosplay. And I know we had a mess when that first started to happen because people didn't know how to seal paint, and they would get gray everywhere and gave the Homestuck cosplayers a bad reputation. Granted, they still earned that reputation by being kind of terrible people. And I say that as a Homestuck cosplayer myself.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of those people, and not just one of those people who used to do that. I still currently do that. In fact, I think my latest cosplay from Homestuck has been the Summoner, which I might talk about later, because those were technically is my most difficult cosplay I've ever done.
No, because when it comes to Homestuck, like if you freaking like I said, when it comes to Homestuck being the best example, you could freaking you could freaking cosplay. You can have your friend cosplay Vriska, and you could be cosplaying as freaking Terezi, and freaking be wrapping yourself in the rainbow flag and kissing each other. And if you want to do that, you can do that because that's just one of the things that Homestuck can do. Is it's that open that possibly could be canon I wouldn't do that, but that's something that some people would do.
Yeah, it was one of those things where like sexuality wasn't like very it wasn't very like, oh, it's very cookie cut. Like it wasn't like not everything was straight. I'm gonna say it. I
Mm-hmm.
could probably put it bluntly that way. Like it wasn't like, oh, guy likes girl. There was definitely stuff of like guy likes girl, but there was plenty of like, oh, this guy likes this guy, this girl likes girl. It was a lot of that, and especially with the added elements of like the trolls being aliens and not being quite binary in a sense of like
Human form.
yeah, human form. Like it took a lot of stuff that like if we took like human culture, typically the male is more aggressive. I say that with aggressive air quotes,
Mm-hmm.
because people. I mean, a stereotypical image could be that the man is the dominant one, woman is a submissive one. Also, I'm speaking totally out of my ass. I am not I'm not like someone who's educated on that. It's just something I've seen and as a gay person have it's been fed to me and I've seen it. But there the in the Homestuck world, the female is the more dominant / aggressive one. Like that's yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Homestuck the whole time.
No, it's fine.
My apologies, but yeah, it was something very easy for people to cling on to if you were like an outcast. If you were not an outcast, but you weren't like I use the word normal here in place of a different word that I can't think of right now. If you weren't a cis straight person, this is something you could cling on to. It was something that you could relate to, and it was just something you could really, really enjoy and find like, oh, there's something that I could see myself in. Because at least when I was growing up, like I saw a bunch of stuff that I was like, oh, this is great, I like it, but I didn't really relate to a whole lot of the people. This is like at least the first big example I'll say, in the internet age, you could find something that was different, that was popular, and a lot of people just loved. And it was really the kind of group that would be going to cons and dressing up. And to go back to the cosplaying, it was also relatively easy to do because the costumes for the characters were not very difficult because it was all made in MS Paint. It would be like white shirt, an emblem, or a black shirt and a star sign, and then you just put gray face on and black wig and make some horns out of something, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
It was an easy cosplay to make, as well as something that could really attach to people. At least I like to think so because of how popular it was back in the day.
Because I know that we've been talking about Homestuck for a while, but that was all great. And I know you want to get up the Homestuck train for a little while, but so
I just don't want to turn your your podcast into a Homestuck podcast because believe me, I can go on about Homestuck for a very, 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 very long time.
The Homestuck hour.
Yeah, better change your name.
Oh God, the Homestuck hour. Oh no.
Have you on as guest every week, and I'll just talk over you about Homestuck.
Oh yes, it's another week of the Homestuck hour with Alex. What about Homestuck are you here to complain about today?
But as you're saying, off the Homestuck train.
Yeah, so it's a really interesting question, one that I don't even know how to answer. But would you either want the time travel? I'm talking DeLorean or time travel, or would you rather have a portal gun from Portal if you know what Portal is and what?
I know what Portal is. I'm that person who knew what the orange box was. I'm old enough to know that.
Yeah, so would you rather have a portal gun or would you want time travel? Like DeLorean and all, like time travel.
On one hand, I can go back in time and laugh at younger me for how much of an idiot I was. But also on the other hand, I could just annoy the crap out of people by popping out of portals.
Or do you know what? Even better, time traveling with the portal gun. You mix it together. Like you could mix the program with the time travel and freaking be like,
That sounds like a terrible combination, and I love your way of thinking.
listen now, listen to this. Like I can freaking like if I like go like I can like freaking like set the time or whatever on the portal gun to shoot the one portal, and then while I'm flying through the portal to where I'm going, I can freaking I can I can like let's just say I want to be like flying like some soaring eagle for no reason whatsoever and just punch a guy across the face while I'm soaring and then boom, I'm gone in the next second. Like I can zap it and then start flying through, do the thing and go for the and then shoot real fast and then go for the air pearl and come back into my current time. Like
That would be a lot of fun. If I had to choose between the two, I think I'd go with the portal gun mostly because A, it's more portable. B, I'd be able to do a lot more with it. With the DeLorean, I could end up fucking up, quite a lot of things, which wouldn't be okay.
Yeah, like I would love the time travel, man, because dude, I mean, I know you can't change the past, and the past is the past or whatever, but dude, you know how many times I can go into the past and fix like my wrongdoings, like where I screwed up or where I went wrong or whatever. It's just like, I mean, it's those things that make me who I am. But I mean, I could if I had time travel ability, I could go back to those times and go to the real worst ones and be like, hey, I mean, like, in me knowing what I went through, I can I can have someone who knows me that can go up to younger me and teach younger me a lesson. Because if I go up to younger me, then that would not be good for the space-time continuum.
Yeah, that's another reason why I wouldn't want to, go back in time and do all that, because if I tried to prevent stuff, I just mess up things in the future. And I think my life is going at least in a place where I really enjoy it, and the last thing I want to do is mess that up. I like to think of the stuff that's been hard, difficult in my life has really helped me and form the person that I am now.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to go back in time, it'd be more for me things, like my first D&D campaign with someone I did not particularly like, and well, at the time I liked him. He was cool, but he just he always was a major dick. But it's neither here nor there. But I'd just feed every bit of that campaign into my younger person's head just to screw with him, because he screwed with me.
Mm-hmm.
No, like a lot. Like, it's another tangent hour with me. That campaign, like, the average, like, character you would have, like, from, the start to the finish of when we finished that campaign, was maybe, like, 1 to 3 characters. Because there was a few people that had one character throughout the whole thing. Someone had I don't know, 1 to 2 characters. Because, 2 people had, like, characters they had the whole way through. No. Never mind. Make that 3 people who had who had their first character all the way through. 1 person who had, like, I want to say 2 to 3. I had 11. Like,
That's
11 characters.
That's a lot of characters.
Yes. And, I don't want to say that would be a GM trying to kill me, but I will say that one of my characters didn't only lasted for 1 session. They were forced to go with a couple of people he did not like. He was forced to go with them because he couldn't heal in the desert because there was terrain that he couldn't heal from, and he got like a broken jaw. He went to the undead city because apparently there were people that could heal him there. And he was killed in a botched flesh grafting because they had no healers there. He rolled on that one on the healing, and that means he cut my head off by trying to put on a new jaw, or was it an arm? I can't remember. It was a broken something, and it was bullshit. But I digress.
No, because
that related to nothing. I apologize.
No, it's fine. I mean, technically, if I wanted to, I wouldn't do it because my podcast is going great, and why would I want to ruin it? But if I it would be strange, if I did have time travel right now, it would be really strange if I went back into the past. And it's like, and like went so far back in the past, like before I even started doing the podcast, and be like, hey, going to you and be like, hey, do you want to be the first guest on this podcast I'm doing?
Yeah, that would be a little bit weird because I don't think I would know you yet.
No, you wouldn't know me, and I would be like, who in the hell are you?
Well, even before that, because I don't know how long you and my other friend have been friends, but I do know that I had mutuals with you, and that made sense to. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. I was friends with them at the time. I don't know. Possibly you wouldn't have been friends with them, and I would be like, who's this person messaging me, asking me the podcast? I'd probably still say yes, because it only takes time to look at the stuff that I've done. It's definitely time for them.
Yeah, I mean,
continue.
No, it's fine. I've been this podcast for 3 whole years. It's just been something. Had a lot of different kind of people. Had I probably had no pun intended. Probably had everyone under the rainbow on my podcast. I don't know is it rainbow or cloud? I don't know what the term is. Everyone under the sun. Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, there we go. That's the one. I was like, rainbow, cloud. It's an umbrella. No, it's sun.
Yeah, I probably had everyone under the sun on my podcast. So I mean, like, you being on is no different, and some of the people I have on my podcast, I'm grateful to even have them on, because, and even for the short time I had them on, because like, it's nuts, because they were way more famous than I was. Like, they had a lot more people looking in their direction than when you bat an eye in my direction. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, if I had people I don't have a podcasting platform, but I've got, Instagram. If I had Instagram Live with someone that was more popular than me, I'd be like, whoa. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I had a few professional wrestlers that were really, really popular back in the day on my podcast, and I had some current ones. I had some it's something else, man. It's really crazy. I digress. But that was what it was. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool that you would choose the pearl gun over the time travel thing. That's really cool. So besides cosplay, besides Homestuck, and besides everything we were talking about so far, what else are you into?
Well, I'm a big fan of anime. I love My Hero Academia. I've been a big fan of Pokemon since since the day I knew what cartoons were. That was my first thing I was ever really into. Let's see, what else do I like? I really do enjoy Avatar. I love The Legend of Zelda. I love video games in general. Although some of the big things I'm a big fan of right now is Drag Race. Mm-hmm. It's Legend of Zelda, Monster Prom, Homestuck, of course. What else? Yeah, it's kind of, well, not it, but it's a good blanket term. Well, also Fallout and Skyrim too. Those are also two big major ones.
No,
and I've cosplayed from Fallout as well. I plan on cosplaying stuff from My Hero Academia. I've got wigs and outfits for. Well, I've got wigs for Kirishima and Bakugo. Same with the outfit. I don't have a wig for Deku yet, but that's on the list. What else? Let's see. I've got a lot of. The one I've really been working on right now is one of the bonus characters from Monster Camp, Monster Prime sequel. Mm-hmm. Sawyer. They're a they them demon, and they look like the OC I created a while ago, and I'm like, well, they're pretty cool. Why the heck not?
Yeah, because No, because I was gonna say I know you brought Pokemon, but I don't know how you're gonna react to this. But for me personally, Digimon over Pokemon for me. Just saying.
I'm not going to argue with you because my friend was also really into Digimon. I didn't have the same childhood friend from my first con. I should have talked to him. Anyway, sorry. My mind's wandering. It's the ADHD in me. But I didn't see too much Digimon growing up, aside from like the cards and some of the games that my friend had. Not Pokemon. Digimon, I would say Rumble Coliseum or something, or Rumble Arena, and I can't remember the game, but it was a third one, and it was like a more of an RPG, if that makes sense, of Digimon, and that was also great. Both were on the GameCube, so if anyone at home knows which one I'm talking about, and I can't remember, that's the one. I'd 100% recommend it. I'm probably going to look on eBay or Mercari today or anywhere else to see if I can find it to play it.
For everyone playing at home, I wonder like we've been on like probably 3 trains at this point.
Listen, I'm sorry, I'm just a conductor. I see a train, I'm like, I need to get on it and drive it somewhere, and then when I'm like, I don't want to get to the actual like end point, I'm just going to crash it. Like I've done these past 3 times. I'm sorry. It's the mic's hard, and it's just me being authentically me and being able to nerd out. Because again, during pandemic times, I haven't been able to see a lot of my friends super frequently, and so it's mostly text based, and I can't be like ranting on for hours on end about this and that or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, like I personally, I know you said you drink that you sometimes drink, but I don't. I personally don't. I drink soda. I'm more of a soda and other thing. I don't do any of that alcohol stuff personally.
That's totally fair. I mean, it's not like a choice I judge you for. It's just something you don't do, and I respect that. Although I will say, if you're a fan of soda, I would definitely suggest trying out Wild Bill's.
I heard of that.
I highly suggest it. They've been at C2E2 and Amkey. Basically where they make their money is the cups. They're like $35-$40, but they're like dual insulated. They're metal. They're nice, and you pay like $5 and you get like a band that you basically get free soda all day, and they're so good.
And I went to their website because I was interested. And
I think it's Wild Bill's.
Yeah, wildbills.com. I went on there, I guess just to see, and they seem to have interesting flavors I want to try, but if the cups at the con are actually $30 or $40, that's a lot of money for a cup you can't stick in your dishwasher.
Really? I put it in my dishwasher. It's been fine.
Well, I mean, it says on the website it can't go in the dishwasher, and I experimented with a lot of things. I put it in the
That is very fair. Although, if you order offline or online, they do come in cans, so you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
I ordered from them not too long ago and not regretted it. If the only thing I regret is not getting more.
I mean, which one's the best? Which one to use the best flavor?
That's kind of hard. Also, not sponsored, by the way. I just like this brand of soda. It's God.
Because I know they have root beer.
I love the classic root beer, but I also love that vanilla. But the sarsaparilla is also good, and so is the birch beer. I go with my gut here and say root beer because it's a classic. You can't go wrong with the root beer. But the birch and the vanilla are very, very close second.
What's the vanilla one? What's in the vanilla one again?
It's essentially, it all tastes like I'm not gonna say it all tastes like root beer, but it tastes like root beer is the base, and they added more things into it, and it tastes different. But at the core base, you can still taste it's like root beer. It's like if you have like a vodka soda or like a martini that's made with vodka. You could tell at the base there's vodka in here. That's the base of it, but it tastes different. If that makes sense.
Because if it's vanilla root beer, then I'm on that train. I love vanilla root beer.
Oh, you'll like the vanilla one then. I
Oh.
personally love it.
Oh.
I am kind of upset that I only have three of. Well, I guess now I only have one of them because I drank two of them.
Yeah, because at Burger King or at any restaurant that has the Coke freestyle machine, or anywhere, not just a restaurant, but when you
What
go,
are you talking about? That good stuff where like you press Fanta and there's like 7 or 8 different Fantas and that.
yeah, that machine is so cool because they have Bar's root beer in there and they have Bar's root beer with vanilla, and that is like the best thing you'll ever drink next to Orange High C.
Absolutely, I agree completely. Again, I'd highly suggest Wild Bill's. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I want to, and I almost went to line. I went to a convention. I stood in the line to get it, but the line was so freaking long that I wasn't willing to wait. So,
That is fair, because listen, lines at cons, they could make or break me. There's been a few things where I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I would say the only really long line I've waited in, aside from getting into the vendors hall, was for a drag related panel. One of the few panels I've been to maybe like 3 or 4. One was I think it was fan fiction one. One was like a game one. One was like a tearjerker one, and the other one was did I say Monster Prom already?
no.
Okay, yeah, Monster Prom, and then okay, that's 5. And then one was the drag related one. And I was like, I want to see this. I want to see drag queens. And it turns out, since this is a 2020, this is the beginning of the coronavirus, it was not as bad as it in America as it is now. It was like back in like February, around like Valentine's Day time. Went in there. A lot of the queens had canceled, so it turned to a lip sync battle, which I won.
Nice.
Yeah, I was pleased with that. It was also extra funny because the person that I went to Woodfield for to get my NYX cosmetic stuff to cosplay Frankenfurter, which I was dressed at the time, was the person hosting the panel.
That's cool.
It was cool and weird, and I loved it.
Like, when I go to the convention, I want to go to the convention and not stand in line like I'm at Disney World. Like, this is not Disney World. This is a convention I want to enjoy, Okay,
to be fair, I want to say with this, I'm a big Disney fan. I love Disney.
Mm-hmm.
If I could live there, I probably would. But Disney and cons are very similar in the sense that, well, aside from lines and waiting and stuff, it is about the experience. Like Disney, you don't go there. I think the rides there are fun. I love the rides there, but it's for the experiences to go there and see the cast members, dresses up as the characters, to, go into a restaurant and have it be all themed, the Little Mermaid or whatever. It's mm-hmm. about the experience, and that is what cons are at the core. It's about the experience.
Yeah, because I have no problem with Disney. I have no problem with them. I have Disney Plus. I enjoy some of their content. I have no problem. I have no problem with Disney. But long lines could bug me a little bit because I don't like long lines.
No, I get you. I get you right there. You hit me at my core because I don't say there's any bad parts to a convention.
Conventions are the bomb.
What?
Conventions are the bomb.
Yeah, but if I was going to say something negative about conventions, it would be waiting in line to check in an hotel, or well, maybe not that one as much, but it's a little pet peeve. But because so many people are checking in at once. The other one would be waiting in line to get my badge, which is why the past several AMPs, I've been very happy to have ordered mine online, and I can just get in there and go.
Yeah, the only convention I've been to all weekend and whatever and all that jazz was Dice Show 2019, my very first Dice Show, because I wanted to go there for years. And I finally had the chance to go, and I went, and I loved it. But and that's the farthest north I ever went for a convention. I've never been to Minnesota ever in my life, so like I can't.
It's a drive, trust me. But yeah, that was one of my favorite cons to go to. It had a con suite, which is where you get like free food. Now, the food there wasn't like, oh, like we're making you like, you know, chicken marsala or something. It was like,
Well, I mean,
you could get like, you know, the quick oatmeal. You could get like some soda. You could get rice. I love the rice there. You could get some like that like, oh god, I can't think of the name of the brand. The ramen that comes basically like the little bricks that cost 29 cents a piece, or like, you know, little quick cup of noodles. It was something simple like that. But it was, if you were a broke college student or high school kid, perfect. You don't need to worry about food. That's honestly like half the cost of a con, you know, besides the room and the badge and all that jazz, is literally the food, because, you know, you need food to live, and not everyone thinks of like, you know, amongst all the, oh, I can't forget my horns, I can't forget my wings, I can't forget my prop. Did you bring food? Does your hotel room have a microwave? Because I don't think it does. It have a, I can't remember if they had it empty or not. But
because the convention you went to in Minnesota is owned by the same people who run Anime Midwest and Con Out Delete, which are both excellent cons.
It's a CopCon or CopCon. I cannot remember the name. All I know is that he's not very not popular. He's done some things which have been not okay, and people are not thrilled with that.
I know. I mean, he may be a terrible, terrible person, but
yeah,
his conventions, I don't know, just spark magic. I don't know what it is with this guy.
It is, and while I do want to agree with the people that, well, I do agree with the people that want to cancel him because of that, but I will say, if you remove him from the thing, it's like separating the art from the artist. That's been problematic. Is it a masterpiece? Sure. Yes. Is the person who made it problematic? Yes. But the thing that they created was fantastic. I always say that CopCon was one of my favorite. Like aside from just like it being my first real con experience, where I'm there for 3 days, where I'm exhausted because I've been putting makeup on myself for 3 days and cosplaying and wearing uncomfortable outfits. It's been one of my favorite experiences ever.
Yeah, because like I mean, I love it. I've been going to Anime Midwest for years, so I love Anime Midwest. I only been to Con Delete twice because I gotta be lucky to even get to that one. And then like there's like C2E2 and the little tiny Chicago Pop Culture Con, which got shut down and hopefully will be coming back after the pandemic's over.
Which one do you will be coming back?
No, I go to a convention. There's this little tiny convention that used to be held at the Pheasant Run in St. Charles, but the Pheasant Run shut down, and so
that's a shame.
And so like, the Pheasant Run shut down, and the Mega Center, which held the convention, shut down with it, which really sucks. So that means the Chicago Pop Culture Con, not because of just virus, but also the venue shutting down and virus on top of that. And so I'm hoping it will come back, because I really like it, because even though it's really tiny and not very well known, to me it means something to me, because I've been going to it and I love it.
No, listen, I full-heartedly agree with that. Like, not all, you don't have to go like to Comic-Con or C2E2 to have that like genuine con experience. You could go to a smaller con and have just as much fun. Mm-hmm. I know I kind of want to go to Dice Show. Mostly don't, only because I experienced AMT first, and I do tend to fall like in the same kind of weekend where like they're very close to one another. And on one hand, I'm like, well, I like this con a lot. I know what this is all about. And all my friends are going to this one, so I want to go to that one. But it's the small cons could really, really make something.
Because, no, the cool thing is about the people who run the pop culture con the company that they're under, the banner that they're under, they have that, and then they have the County PopCon, which is basically the same convention but that runs until midnight or one
Oh
in the morning
wow.
or 1 in the morning or whatever. It goes really late, and they hold it at the I think the Kane County Fairgrounds. I think where they're currently now using it for COVID reasons.
Okay.
For the vaccine. But yeah, I mean, they hold it there and it goes really late, and then they do two flea markets. Well, they do a bunch of flea markets, but the ones I really care for, they are two of them. They do a summer one, which is just held. It's just a flea market held during the summer, and they bring in people from shows and shows from the past or whatever, that like real famous people, like so you can pay them and get their autograph and get to meet them and all that. But it's just mainly like a flea market, and then during Halloween they do another one, but during the Halloween one you can actually dress up and get in costume and walk around the flea market in your costume, and just shop, you know, basically like it's basically a cosplay flea market thing.
Listen, you're just speaking my language right now because my two favorite things about cons are A, I get to dress up however I want, especially like a fool because that's usually how I feel sometimes. And so things I've put in, or I've dressed up in, like my summoner one, very not user friendly or people friendly because the horns I have are 2 feet wide and 2 feet like up.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I wanted to make them like 3 feet wide, 2 feet up, but that was not going to happen.
Yeah. Hello?
Sorry, my sister just knocked on my door, even though I asked for complete silence. Anyway, sorry, my apologies.
No.
What was I saying?
No, you're saying how like you have a cosplay that has feet that was like 2 feet wide and two
Okay,
feet
2
up.
feet wide, 2 feet tall. My wings were steel, or they're made like a metal wire, and were poking into my back, and very uncomfortable. Yeah, not the greatest experience, but it looks fantastic. It is, yeah.
No, that's cool and stuff. I mean, like I mean, like 2020 was just a year where like the last time I did anything that wasn't going to work or being at work or being here at home or the occasional Walmart when I was going to Walmart before my family was like, yeah, we're not going to Walmart anymore because the cases rised up. But besides those three places, nowhere else. And the last time I did anything where I was anywhere else was when I went to the mall back in March, before the week before the pandemic hit.
Oh yeah.
That's the last thing I did. That was the last thing I did, like at a place outside those three places, maskless.
Yeah, the last thing I went to was AMT 2020 again, for con. Sorry, it's that was the last thing I did, like that was maskless, and then 2 weeks later it became a thing, and it was disconcerting.
Well, I mean,
like, I just went to a convention and I didn't have a mask on. Oh God.
Well, I mean, like when the pandemic officially hit it, officially hit, at my job we were kind of like, oh, it's a choice that you can wear the mask or not. Like, it was a choice. And then what happened was that April 1st, starting April 1st, I went on a 2-month hiatus from work. And I came back after those 2 months, and it was mandatory that we had to wear the mask by that point. And so that's when it was after I came back from my 2 month from being off for 2 months that we were just forced to come in wearing the mask, and that's what we did, and that's what we're still doing. So
yeah, The masks do kind of suck, but you get used to them. At least I have.
Hmm.
I actually I got a Toph cosplay in the making that I have gotten the mask specifically for,
I mean,
and
like,
I continue. Sorry.
no, it's fine. No, there's no a lot of different cosplayers are artists on Facebook or whatever. Actually, getting behind the mask craze because they're like, oh, we're so talented at making cosplay things and props or whatever. Maybe we should get back by making masks for people, you know?
Yeah, listen, I'm I'll be stereotypical, but I'm very into my fashion. At least when I'm not at work or at home. Because when I go out, I want to like go out as like a look. So like cosplay is not like quote unquote a look, but it's something that I want to look put together in.
Mm-hmm.
So if like I was going to go to a convention while Corona was happening, which honestly would not, unless it was like online, in which case all for. But if it was like we're on the tail end, people have gotten their vaccines and stuff. I'd still want to be safe and have something to put on my face that would also coincide with my look. Because granted, I'd be cosplaying Toph in her her Avatar: The Last Airbender outfit, but the Beifong Metal Bending Academy is the mask I got.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be quite with that look, but it works with it, if that should make sense at least.
Yeah. No, I just want to let you know we're at an hour and 1 minute.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No, that's crazy how time flies, isn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I usually like to shoot for an hour. I mean, usually. But
Well,
I mean,
listen, with me, I can talk forever and ever and ever.
hey, no, dude, it's fine. You've been very informative today, and I'm pretty sure people have learned a lot.
I sure hope so. As long as someone could take something away from this, at least, well, not from this, from me, rattling on about stupid things, I'm glad.
I think this is a good spot to end. Like I think this is a good spot to end it, though.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Not saying I'm not having fun, but saying an hour.
No, I understand. Podcasts have a set amount of time. You don't want to have to edit around a whole lot of stuff, and yeah, going past that, it's like, ooh.
No, it's fine. So, with that being said, I'll do my thing and I'll let you do yours. Thanks for listening.
Right.
Thanks for listening to Cyber Timebite episode 140, which is crazy. You can follow me on Facebook at Cyber Timebite. Follow me on Twitter at NostalgiaVamp. Buy all my merchandise on Redbubble.com under Crash Steven Gear, where you can buy all my sport stuff, because the sport, come on, let's be serious. Let's be serious here. It's the only utensil. Cons get it, but they sort of don't get it. They're iffy on it. But and also you can follow me on Instagram at Nostalgia Vampire, and you can also pick up the Circus Stuck merch, which is a panel ran by my friend Tiff93KD at conventions pretty much across the Midwest, mainly anime Midwest. I call it the lead half and mostly probably all the time. You can get the t-shirt that everyone keeps clamoring over, that you don't have to go for me anymore to get it. You can just go to the website and buy it, and it's there. Go pick it up. Go buy that. Go buy my merch. Listen to the podcast, to all the episode before this, and just just have fun, man. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Just chill back and just listen to the podcast while you're like writing something, drinking tea, and then all of a sudden when we talk about something weird, you just gotta spit it out and be like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I always spot on about something dumb or weird.
And
And
so,
you can find me on Instagram at the Cinnamon Tab Roll. That is the underscore SINNAMON underscore TAVROLL.
no, that's pretty cool. Anywhere else, that's it.
Yep. No, that's kind of it. On Facebook, it's usually, a personal deal, and I don't really use my Twitter at all except to look at drama.
The look at drama. You have a Twitter to
Listen,
look at
I
drama?
like to look at drama, not be in it.
Like I never heard of that before. Just like I have a Twitter just to look at drama. Like what?
Well, I created that Twitter to start or well to comment on some dumb Vine person's actions, and then just had it. Used to look at Vines, and then those became that popular, and yeah.
Hey, no, it's fine. But hey, I want to thank you all for listening or watching or whatever. Depending on what you're doing, like if you're watching this on YouTube and just doing this for YouTube, or you're just listening in your earphones or wherever you're going or whatever. Thanks for listening / watching. Hope all of you have a fantastic day. Have a good one.
Bye bye.